Does your shoulder make you afraid? Does it make you feel fragile? Did a doctor tell you how your shoulder is degenerating and you need to be careful with it? Well, if that sounds like you, listen up because this video is going to be directly for you. Now, this video is going to be mainly for those people dealing with a lot of pain in the front of their shoulder, in this area, even going down the side into the bicep muscle towards the elbow. And if you ever heard of scapular upward rotation, it's going to be the hack that's going to fix your shoulder pain today. There's something that exists called the force couple. So as you can see here, the way that the force couple works is there are three muscles involved. There's going to be the upper trapezius, the lower trapezius, as well as the serratus anterior. Now, the upper trap is going to work to help pull up and in towards where its origin is on the back of the head. And then the lower trap is going to kind of pull down and inwards towards the spine where it's attached to. Now, at the same time as the upper trap is pulling upwards, the lower trap is pulling down and in, what's going to happen is the serratus anterior is going to pull the shoulder blade kind of directly out and kind of upwards to the side of it. Now, this is really important to understand this force couple of these three muscles working together almost like friends, like 3v3 basketball. You need all three players on the team in order to beat the other team. You can't have one doing all the work because that person's going to fatigue, they're going to get injured. Something is going to happen where it's not going to result in you winning, or something bad is going to occur because one person is just taking the brunt of the load. Your body works the same way here, okay? We develop issues and pain in the front and side of our shoulders when those three muscles aren't doing their job, or if one is doing too much of the work. A good example here is when you have knots. A lot of people we come across have knots in their upper traps. When you have a thick knot in that area, it means that muscle is being overused. It's doing too much of the work. That means we need to test the strength of the lower traps and the serratus anterior. And how do you do that? You get an assessment. That's how you learn if it's weak and if it's not weak, and then you don't waste your time doing random exercises you see on Instagram, Google, or YouTube. But so you're not wasting your time and you make sure you cover all of your bases, what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to go through the scapular upward rotation series that we use with majority of our clients who are dealing with a bicep tendonitis or pain in the front of their shoulder. This is going to be an excellent routine to help strengthen that force couple that targets all three of those muscles so you don't have to play that guessing game. And to give you just one more last idea of what's going to happen when we go through these exercises is you want to be thinking about your shoulder blade being kind of pushed up and out to the side, okay? Now the shoulder blade, when it goes over the head, needs to move in an upward rotation pattern, okay? So when you're kind of going into a motion, it needs to move kind of this way where it comes up and out and over the head, okay? So when I'm reaching my arms up and over like this, or I'm doing an overhead press, the motion of the shoulder blade should be up and outwards, upwardly rotating. Upward rotation involves that shoulder blade going down and then out to the side like this and upwards. Upper trap's going to be pulling up this way, lower trap's going to be pulling down and in this way. Serratus anterior is pulling out to the side like we mentioned before. Now that you understand that and how the mechanics of the shoulder blade work, let's get into the exercise. We're going to start with exercise number 1, which are called wall slides. Now wall slides are like the bread and butter we give all of our clients. We have them do it frequently throughout their rehab programs. And all it is you in a staggered stance or feet wide, whatever you prefer, whatever's more comfortable. Your hands on the wall, pinky side of the hand, so you're in a neutral position. And you're just sliding up and down the wall, nice and slow and controlled and relaxed. Hold for 1 to 2 seconds at the top, come back down. Now it's very important here that you do not overarch your lower back. You do not want to be doing it like this, where you're arching your back, like you see those guys lifting too much weight in the gym. Because if you do that, all the stress goes to the low back and the front of the shoulders, which is what we don't want. We want 2 things to come from this exercise. One is mid-back mobility, so we want to open up that thoracic spine between the shoulder blades. And 2 is we want to stretch the lats a little bit, as well as the pecs. So we're kind of stretching those 2 little muscle groups there. I should say big muscle groups, and then we're opening up that mid-back. Now, when you feel really good with the wall slide, we're going to progress to exercise number 2, and that's going to be a banded wall slide. So very simply, you can use furniture sliders like I am here on the wall, hands in the same position, put a band around the wrists, could be medium to moderate resistance. You don't want to go super heavy, and you're going to put tension on that band by pulling the wrists apart as you do the same exercise in the same stance. Now, the difference here is now we're adding in the strength factor. So now you should feel your external rotators, like your rear delt and your infraspinatus muscle of your rotator cuff, turning on. And if you're wondering, like, where are those muscles? You should feel the backside of your shoulder blade. So if we choose the shoulder model again, you should feel here and in the back of the shoulder, kind of right here. So on me, it should be all in this area, kind of right in there. Now, after you've gotten through the banded wall slides, you've done really well with that. Maybe you did 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps for the first exercise and the second. Now you're ready to progress to the third. And the third is just going to be a wall slide with a lift off. Now, as you can see here, all I'm doing is as I get to the top, I'm not stopping there. I'm reaching as high as I possibly can with my fingers, almost like someone's trying to drag me up to the ceiling. And then I'm reaching up, 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 and then I'm lifting off at the top, coming back down to start. Okay, it's very important that I, again, don't arch my back. I keep my abs lightly engaged as well as my glutes so I don't have any of that arching. And I feel that serratus anterior muscle really working and firing under the armpits. Okay, you are going to feel your upper traps here as well because they're going to elevate the shoulder blades, but you want to try not to let your upper traps overcompensate for the lower traps turning on as well as the kind of also serratus anterior. Now, hopefully you guys have been going through these as I've been explaining them, right? Start with the wall slides first, progress to the banded wall slides, and then finally move to the wall slides with liftoffs. Don't do all three at once. You want to kind of slowly move through one at a time. Just like with your weightlifting, you don't want to increase your sets, your reps, and your hold times and decrease your rest at the same time because that's usually too much and it's too aggressive. Usually you'll suffer from a flare-up doing that. So you want to change one variable at a time usually. And now you've seen the three best exercises we use to improve scapular upward rotation. If that's truly where the cause of your shoulder pain is, even if it's pain in the front, it could be being masked as an issue at the back because of the mechanics. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying this is going to fix 99% of shoulder issues, but this is what we commonly see with shoulder impingement and bicep tendonitis. Okay, if you want to really fix your issue and not play the guessing game or watch all these YouTube videos and just try random things and stop wasting your time, what I want you to do is comment the word shoulder down below and I'll send you a free shoulder pain fix demo so you can learn our NTS method we use with our clients to get shoulder pain free. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. Hit that like button and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss any new videos to come. Have a good one.